Good Wife was an American legal and political drama television series that aired between 2009 and 2016. That has now been adapted into an Indian series called The Trial. The 8-part series, directed by Suparn Verma, begins with the naming and shaming of a well-known legal eagle, Rajiv Sengupta, played by Jishu Sengupta. He's being outed for demanding sexual favors and his damning sex tapes have gone viral. That leaves his wife, Noinika, which has been played by Kajal, holding a very leaky can, which includes 2 young daughters distraught at having to leave their home and change their circumstances, and also a mother-in-law. Now, for anyone who has seen The Good Wife, other than Alicia and Will, the characters played by Kajol and Ali, the other one character that stayed in people's minds was of Kalinda, that was played by Archie Punjabi in the original. In The Trial, that role has been played by Kubra Seth with her portrayal of Sana. And Kubra, in fact, is now joining us to talk to us about why she decided to take up this role. How was her experience? Was there added pressure because this was an adaptation? We'll chat about all of this. Kubra, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's begin. When did these conversations happen? How did this all work? Or did you just hear who was directing it and then you said, I will do it?
Well, this conversation started. First of all, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I think this is my first interview that I'm doing for Sana. So, yeah, I'm literally like carrying this incredible responsibility on my shoulders for the first time since the release of this show. So, I'm very grateful to you for that. I think the conversations around this show started when I got a call from Casting Bay, obviously a little over a year ago. And the second I got to know that it was this part, as in Sana or Kalinda's part, I was like, hell yes, I need to do this. And this is so funny because I have not watched the original series. So for me to even know that this character existed in its time immemorial was that, oh my God, this character has come from me. I need to be doing this. So that itself was like a great clickbait for me to say yes to this character. But when I understood further and went into the details, got to know there is Kajol, Jishu Sengupta, Suparn S. Verma, Bani J. Asia, Disney Hotstar. These are the players involved. There was no reason for me to say, there was no reason for me to even doubt my question, my judgment on this. So yes, I was very valiant and I was super like I knew I was headed in the right direction, and I made sure that I made the calls that were required to make, and I was like, I'm doing this part. And here I am a year later talking about how amazing and strong Sana is. So that was the journey.
I was going to ask you that had you seen the series prior to you saying yes? So you're saying you'd actually never seen the series. And the reason
I haven't.
And the reason I asked you that, Kubra, because, usually there's a lot of pressure when there's an adaptation. There is a direct comparison. So a lot of actors actually prefer not watching it so that they don't get impacted. Is that the reason?
Well, you know what? It's really hard for you to watch something that has played out for 23 episodes every season for 7 seasons.
True.
That's a lot of episodes to watch, So, no, that was one of the reasons why I didn't watch. But two, yes, you tend to carry a lot of pressure on your shoulders when you know a role has been executed to the kind of perfection and the kind of deliverance that has been given by Archie Punjabi in the main series. So, or in the original series, as we may call it. So I thought it was best if I didn't watch it, although I remember playing the first episode on my television, watching the first scene of Archie Punjabi playing Kalinda and saying, yes, I made a good choice. This is exactly what I need to do, and this is what I need to take forward. And I did not watch the rest of the series.
like I said, like for anyone who's seen The Good Wife and even The Good Fight after that, there were just a few characters that really stood out. Of course, Alicia and Will, because they were the protagonists and the layers that it had. But even characters like Diane and Kalinda and Carrie Agos, which have of course been adapted now in the trial as well, really stood out with people years after the series was over. So help me understand, when you read this script, Kubra, what is it one thing that really drew you close to the character of Sana? Because it's not a straightforward character. It's complex in its own levels, the relations that she has, how she deals with her emotions. What really led you to saying yes to the character of Sana?
I think the writing was stupendous. The pauses between the writing was excellent. She's a very she thinks a lot. She absorbs a lot. She's not very quick to react. I am extremely reactive, as a person. You'll see it on my face. Like, I cannot lie to save my life. Like, if there is joy, you'll see it. If there's disappointment, you'll see it. You'll see it in my
Yeah.
face. I don't need to use words. But the beauty of playing Sana was that she's so poker faced. And that I felt was a challenge to begin with. And I'm glad that, people were able to see the dexterity in that. And that was good. So, yeah, I felt like there was so much restraint that
Yeah.
with which we could have played Sana. And I think that's what I tried to the channel through me and through the script that was given to me. Um, I also found a lot of similarities between Sana and Kubra as a person, apart from the fact that, I am far more emotionally sensitive than Sana is. I think the headstrong bit, the I will go to the other end of the world to, get this done bit.
Yeah.
I feel all of those qualities are very similar between Sana and Kubra. So I don't know if I think this part was written for me, and I'm very grateful for it having landed into my hands like a gift.
Kubra, I saw the series recently, and I've been a fan of the original series. So, there was a lot for me to digest and, draw comparisons and then figure out what I enjoyed the most. But what I really enjoyed was how the character of Sana plays with the card as far as loyalty is concerned. Her relationship with Noenika, two women supporting each other, how she gives a heads up to Noenika about what Dheeraj was doing in the
Yeah.
backdrop. Even when, Kajol or Noenika, the character, has a doubt over Sana, she, the end result all plays. Is that something that was crucial for you to see how the flesh out of both the women characters was also written and the relationship with each other?
Yes, of course. I think in today's world, when we speak about, us not having a dependability on other people, like we need to be self dependent, we need to have self love, we need to be practical with ourselves. In this universe that we've created, we understand you have women for each other. In fact, I feel the way all three characters, Malini, Sana, and Noyonika's characters have been written, it has so much agency. And the beauty about all these three characters is that they rely so much on the gray areas, because life as we know it is gray.
Yeah.
Life as we know it is not black or white. अच्छा बुरा हुआ नयोनिका के साथ तो अब अच्छा हो जाएगा उसके साथ, because she's the lead of the show. Or for example, you see someone who's at a position, like I've worked with female bosses who've been extremely difficult to work with.
True.
Right? But then to see Malini's character in a fictional world that we've created, actually throwing to the hard work, uh, the resilience that has been portrayed by Noyonika, and the fact that she can actually work for her business, yet work on her own value system and, her self-built moral system, and to be there for each other. I think that's what we do. But I'm really happy on a personal front that people have enjoyed the chemistry and the dependability and loyalty and friendship that is shared between Noyonika and Sana. I think that was, yeah, that was a good feeling. It was a
So,
good way to receive our relationship.
So, talk to me about the off-screen experience as well. This was Kajol's big comeback as well. It was seen as, there was a lot of anticipation with Kajol entering as far as the OTT space is concerned. So, you've spoken about the on-screen chemistry and how, well that's been appreciated. But the off-screen experience of just working with Kajol and sharing screen time with her?
Oh, she's brilliant. Yeah, she's really, really brilliant. Not only as an actor, but as a human being. She's a very positive human being. She's a team player. Because it was a close set, we actually hung out a lot between shots. And I don't think you have that freedom usually when you're working on a big
Sure.
set. And this was like a really familial and a very familiar set to work on after a certain point. And we all used to just hang out with each other and chill and chit chat. And there was enough scope for us to get to a personal point with each other. We were just not finishing our lines and leaving. So, in that sense, you grasp a lot more of the human being that you're working with. And the little that I've gotten to know of Kajol, wow, I cannot wait to collaborate with her again as and when a season 2 is announced.
So, Kubra, yesterday, we put out a small poll asking people that we're going to be chatting with Kubra. What is it that you want to hear from her, especially as far as the series is concerned? So, a lot of people said that they wish they could have seen a lot more of Sana and Inspector Sahab. So, help us understand.
Inspector
So, help
Sahab!
us understand that can we expect anything more after this? Is anything in the works? Will viewers get to see more of it?
1 second, I have to check. Where is Super? I don't know if we get to see more of Inspector Saab and Sana, but what a beautiful character, yeah. Like, I'm actually in a position to see. Like, most people think that I am the busiest person personally because they think there is a line outside my door right now with men waiting to propose to me, and that's not the truth. So, with the kind of love and the kind of sincerity that Ahmed Ali playing Inspector Shinde, the kind of love that he brings to the table and the kind of resistance I bring to the table is unique in its own way. And I'm so happy I got to share those moments with Ahmed. He's a phenomenal actor. I'm so happy that people are seeing, you know, that chemistry play out. And yes, like the viewers, I'd like to see more as well. That was pretty awesome. In fact, that was like really the only uh, passionate, real part that we had, and I think non-apologetic part that we had. Even the
True.
relationship that Sana shares with Dheeraj is interesting,
Yeah.
but the chemistry I think that is shared between Inspector and Sana are like pretty good. Yeah, I really like it. I hope like the rest of your audience, even we get to see a little bit of that.
So we really hope Suparn is hearing this conversation and there is something else in the offing as well. But Kubra, I just want to understand, because this was an adaptation of a series that actually did so well, was there added pressure? Because a lot of people are usually very divided that, "Arey, kya zarurat thi when there is already an original series? Why can't they come up with something new? What is the need to make something that already exists?" Is that a dichotomy that plays in the minds of actors as well while choosing a role?
Well, if you ask me specifically, no, that was not a challenge I went through. It was not my challenge, at least. I'm sure everybody at the making end, whether it was Banijay Asia or Disney Hotstar or even Supan for that matter, to be able to take a project that has been so successful and has been franchised into spin offs, even, for someone to take that legacy forward and to have the belief in them to say कि it doesn't matter what you've created, but what I will create is going to be adapted to a newer sensibility. I don't think the story at large loses context when you move it from say 2016 to 2023.
Okay.
These are ongoing conversations about the comeback of women
Sure.
in a professional space. Can women have it all? Can women support other women? What are the actual challenges one faces. Like, for example, Sana was never privileged. She, in fact, says it. I was not good enough for, Rajiv Sen Gupta's office,
Hmm.
which is why he gave me the position of a consultant. He knew
Yeah.
I'm good at my job, but
Hmm.
still, my certification, where I came from, what is my, what's my royal line, like my bloodline to this job.
Sure.
If I don't have that, then I will be marginalized, right?
Hmm.
So when you look at those questions at large, and then you say that I want to make a story, you probably will end up with a story like this that is terrific and lands on today's times. So I feel like the writing that was churned out by Abbas, Hussain, Siddharth, they did a fantastic job with the material they had. The other thing I think we cannot not take into consideration is that The Good Wife is a very large show. It had 23 episodes in
True.
every
Yeah.
season, and we have, you know, um, almost vacuum sealed it and made it 8 episodes in the first season. So yes, you see like the journey, but through the journey you also see some incredible arcs. And for what it's worth, I think we've done a very, very good job with
No,
the resources that
I
we've
think the
had in
team
our hands.
should feel extremely happy. As I said, there's
Thank you.
always
I know,
very
I know
direct
people are receiving
comparison.
it well.
Yeah,
People are loving it, and that for me is, yeah, that for me is a mini win in itself,
I
and we're
agree.
really happy.
I agree. As I said, because there is always a direct comparison, it does become tough. Kubra, because I am running out of time, I just quickly want to also now ask you, because our viewers will be interested in this. The trial is done well, it's been well received. What's next for you?
I have a couple of shows that I've already worked on, which are bound to release. Either we will see them this year or we will see them next year. I also have a movie in the pipeline which I shot with Danish Aslam, Pratik Babbar, and Shayoni. It's called Khabon Ka Jhamela. I'm looking forward to that. Again, a really chill film to work on. I'm very excited about the next few years at large. As an actor, I've realized that the gestation for a project is much longer than when I used to be an anchor.
Hmm.
Being an anchor, I realized, oh, we would get gratification almost instantly
Instantly.
and almost get locked for our next show.
Yeah.
But here, the gestation period is much longer, so I'm getting more comfortable with it and learning a lot along the way.
Okay, Kubra, always a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much. He is wishing you all the best for everything that you do, and he is hoping to chat with you sometime soon as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Cheers.
See you. Bye.